I thought I'd put together a quick video to look at what appears to be quite a common problem with the sunroof on the Peugeot 205. So what we're looking at here is a 1990 205 GTI 1.6. It's the phase 2, and we've got the factory fitted sunroof here, and it's the one with the vacuum seal. Problem is that the drain holes appear to block quite easily. You can see there, hopefully, that when we put a bit of water in there, there's no sign of the water draining away. Now, I was struggling a bit to try and find some information as to how this needed to be disassembled to hopefully have a look and clean it out, so I thought I'd share this. Unlike some of the others in the Peugeot range, and I'm thinking here particularly about the 406, which I did find a video for, the routing of the pipe obviously comes down the A-pillar, but it doesn't then discharge behind the bulkhead here underneath the scuttle plate. What it actually does is the tube just follows straight down to about here and then discharges into a void behind the wing. Now, if you're looking to understand what that looks like, I'd suggest you just Google remove Peugeot 205 GTI wing, and there's actually some photos on there of another blue one, so the same colour, Miami blue, but it's actually got the wing off, so you can actually see the tube coming out down here. So obviously you don't want to be messing about having to take the wing off if you can possibly avoid it. If you are having any problems finding those photos, if you let me know, then I'll try and find the URL and put it up on this posting. Okay, so we've got the problem that the water, any water that gathers, is just sitting there, and clearly we don't want that to happen, particularly at winter where there's a potential for it to freeze and therefore potentially to crack part of the sunroof. So to try and understand what's happening, we need now to get inside the car and have a look at how the connections to the drain hose works. Okay, so inside the car now, we need to be able to remove part of the roof trim. Now, to do that, first of all, we need to take the sun visor off. Now, the sun visor is held in by 3 screws, and they all have a Torx type head. So you'll need to get a Torx screwdriver or a bit to get those out. Certainly on mine that came off quite easily. There's then also on the passenger side we have the grab rail. So that comes off simply by sliding the cover at either end, and once you do, it then reveals quite a chunky, again it's got a Torx head on it. As far as the driver side is concerned, there are just these studs, and they just prise off. The only potentially tricky part of it is to remove the internal cover on the A-pillar. But if I perhaps show you what we've got on the passenger side, you can see that there are 3 studs that are holding it on, and as far as the trim is concerned, they've got these kind of fittings on. So to get that out, you really just need to apply some upward force, so this direction, and certainly I found that it helped if you managed to get some kind of blunt instrument at this part here just to prise it off. So that one actually came off relatively easily. Once we've done that, we're then able to have a look at what's behind the sealing lining. Now, you need to be very, if it's anything like mine, very gentle indeed with this. Obviously this is now 30 odd years old, obviously not the highest quality in the first place, so be very gentle. Don't just grab it here and pull it. You need to be feeding your fingers along here just bit by bit and listening for any issues that there may be. But overall that came out okay, and I'm confident that that's going to go back okay. So what that means now is that if we just look outside, we should be able to see where the drain plug goes into the pipe, and I hope, struggling a bit to get that in focus, but hopefully you can now see that there, and lo and behold, it is completely kinked. Now, I've owned this car since new, so I know that it left the factory like that in October 1990. Such was quality car production in the time. So all I'm going to have to do now is just straighten that out. In all probability, I'll just trim a bit off the end, push it back on, and then hopefully that's going to be okay. Okay, so I've cut a little bit of the old hose off, obviously to make it shorter so that we can remove the kink. As you can see, it's actually splayed out a little bit, and at first attempt to get the remaining hose on didn't work properly. So just heated it up, and as you can see, just looking to stretch it a little bit, and hopefully that'll now work for us. Just give it a couple of minutes. Gave that a couple of minutes, softened it up a little bit, and took a little bit of persuasion, but it has actually gone back and is okay. So acid test now. As I mentioned before, the water, the hose actually discharges in that void behind the wing, and you can see it dripping out down the bottom there. A bit more. Obviously some's escaping around the side of the trim, but nothing to worry about. And then it's just all coming out down there. So hopefully that's fixed it. So hopefully that was a help to somebody somewhere. Thanks for watching.